set to go. Young Wei Koo ready to do the honors.
And off we go to wrap up the week on a Monday night.
And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line.
A first down throw for Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Jameis to throw it. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
A throw over the middle taken in. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 42. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now second and 4. Winston now. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
I think we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. To throw is Winston. Flushed out right. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Well, just an excellent play there by the defense to not only pick it but take it back, because Charles looked like they were in a groove passing the football, several completions until that mistake.
They certainly did appear to be locked in, and with how this offense was moving along, I know we certainly didn't expect to see a pick to end the series. Whatever the cause was, maybe they tipped one of those scripted plays, maybe the defender just made a great read. It has certainly quickly changed the tone of this one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Winston.
There's Chris Olave.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Already, he's top 50 receiving yards in this first quarter. And he's got a 1st down. To the air again with Winston.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Winston. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted.
And the Falcons are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Yeah, he'll be pretty well stopped at his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore.
And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chains, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the 1st down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
On play action, they'll throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore.
He'll get it inside the 20.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
Here we go. 56 is Mike. 56 is Mike. Get the ball.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown.
Kyle Pitts.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Falcons have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 14-0.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Falcons are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
They go play action here on first down.
This one into the hands of Pitts.
And some room to roam now. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Running right, this is Evans.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal. Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here's Winston.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
On 3rd down, Winston.
That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 44-yard line.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
They'll go right back to Evans here on first down.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
I can't believe they even let you play. At 58 is a mic.
He'll drop to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
He completes it to Olave. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the
touchdown, Saints.
Chris Olave.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Saints get a bit closer.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's 17-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Ready. 60 ready. 60 ready. Steal, flat. Hustle, cut, go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's taken down here by the the Saints. Pete Werner, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Ritter and the Falcons need an answer, and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack.
Back to throw. This is caught by Evans.
And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
For a tight end, he's got good straight-line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore.
He's got room at the 30.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Let's go, team. Let's go.
Black Ultra.
Back to throw again.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
On 2nd down, a run with Evans. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons.
Racey McMath
From 10 yards out.
And the Falcons are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime.
He's got a man complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st and 10, Winston escaping the pressure right. And Winston lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. Does the big boy have the juice? And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Always fun to watch a big boy pick it up and go. He may need a little oxygen on it. He may need a lot of oxygen on the sideline.
Not only that, how about you and me trying to balance ourselves up here because you can feel the shaking all the way up to the booth. That big guy trying to get it to the house.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. This pass caught by Hamler. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Blue striker.
2nd and 5. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw.
Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Touchdown!
Kyle Pitts.
Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Falcons take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Crew able to connect on the extra point. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Here's Winston.
Finds his man. That's Olave on the crossing route.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here comes the Saints punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. A good return there, 17 yards.
And it will be Falcon football.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something, because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
That's down the field and caught by Pitts. He'll get it inside the 20.
Touchdown, Falcons!
Kyle Pitts
With now 3 Week 1 touchdowns.
And the Falcons just continue to roll. Koo now for the point after.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable.
And now here is another interception.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. Straight ahead, it's Evans.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. I got it. Mike, 56.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
batted at the line, but he still brought it in. Touchdown, Falcons! Darrington Evans from 17 yards out. And the Falcons get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half, and for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out, and as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 82, watch 82, ball's going 82. Heavy, got heavy.
Throwing, Winston. And now here is another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, And you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And that's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Desperation time. Winston on fourth down. Dancing to his left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position.
They'll run on first down with Evans. He'll get this down to the 38.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
On 1st and 10, it's Evans. 68 yards on the ground for him so far.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw here. Rolling to his right. Touchdown!
Kyle Pitts.
A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Falcons are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their...
And Winston lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Jameis now on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's go, D. Big series
Again, a run with Evans.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for it with Evans. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 85 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Set hut, yellow, 43. Green jacket.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Let's go.
They'll set up to throw.
That's going to be caught by Pitts.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Ready. Blue 32.
Push him back. Push him back.
Set. Go.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, CD, I mean, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into week 2. This has been an impressive week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw caught by Olave. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. To throw, Winston. He'll buy some time right. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Falcons, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.